What's up guys, today we're playing some mono blue Terror in Pauper. So this is my first real crack at this deck. I really like tempo decks, so I'm excited to try it. As a modern player, I never get to cast spells like Brainstorm or Ponder, so this should be pretty exciting. Although I've never played the deck, I've played tempo decks before, and this should be very similar to those. So tempo is a word that's kind of thrown around a lot. Nobody knows exactly what it means, so let's go over what we think it means and talk about the deck. So this deck's looking to either cast an early Delver of Secrets, make your land drops, fill your graveyard with Mental Note and Thought Scour. Eventually get to the point where you can cast your Tolarian Terrors and Cryptic Serpents for 1 and 2 mana while holding up counterspells like Counterspell and Spell Pierce. If you're able to do all that, we have Demon Inferior, which is a really cool tempo card because our creatures have no evasion, so they can be chumped infinitely, which you'll see a little bit later. And then Demon Inferior just carries that match. So we can bounce our creatures and then get in for the win. For the sideboard, we have a lot of 4 of, so we're really going hard on these counters. We have 4 Null for artifacts and enchantments, 4 Dispel for instants, 4 Hydroblast for red decks, 2 Sleep of the Dead, this is so our creatures can get in, and it has Escape so we can keep bringing it back once we have our creatures online. And then lastly, I added a Murmuring Mystic to the sideboard, talking about not having evasion, and we have a lot of instants and sorceries. We can trigger Mystic a lot, so I really like having at least one of in the deck. So that is Mono Blue Terror in Pauper. I want to remind you guys that we are part of the MTG Creator Program, so we'll have lots of play points to give away to our subs. And if you're interested in becoming a YouTube channel member, you get access to cool perks like loyalty badges, cool emotes, and early access to videos like this one. Speaking of members, I want to give a shout out to our 2 newest members, Brian Wilson and Noah V. Thank you so much for your support. So if you want to see more content like this and you want to win some play points, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get in the gameplay. All right, welcome to match 1 on the play. And this hand's fine, we can keep it. We have a couple threats, hopefully get a quick way, get them down. If we need to cycle Lorien, we can. They play tap land, I'm gonna Thought Scour ourselves, find another threat, play an island and pass. Unfortunately, there's only 1 spell in the yard, so these are kind of pricey. Play Blood Fountain. Trying to think if I want to cycle this. I feel like I do. I want to get this into the yard. Thought Scour is pretty good. Let's do that now. See if we can mill it for some spells. Not really. We have a lot of threats. Unfortunately, we have 2 islands and a Delver, so making it a little more awkward. They Thoughtcast into Familiar. Discard an island. Thought Scour. Pretty good. Island, Delver, not very good. Jeez, we're bricking hard. So let's Brainstorm. These aren't the greatest. Put these back on top. We'll cast both of these. Next turn we can Ponder, get rid of everything. Or maybe just cast double Cryptic Serpent, actually. They have the Mirror Enforcer. Cast down. Oh. Alright, they get to kill 1. Fortunate we don't have any counter spells. They don't attack. Let's Ponder. 1, 2, 3. Let's attack with this. See if they want to like double block because they have Blood Fountain. They do not. We'll just cast Serpent and pass. Hold up Spell Pierce. Aggro Wellspring, that's fine. Damn, they drew the Spell Bomb. It's actually really annoying. They crack it immediately. Draw Mental Note. Cast that. This costs 4. This costs 2. We're going to Spell Pierce that. So they sacrifice it with Reckoner's Bargaining. Don't want them to gain life or anything. So now we can get in for a lot. They can sack Blood Fountain, but that's going to take up their whole turn just to get back the Mirror Enforcer. Alright, they jump here because they're going to get that back. They can actually sack this and cast both of these, which kind of sucks. Well, they do have the black. Yeah, good value for them. Now we have to discard, and then they just get to play the Mirror Enforcer again. Now let's just attack. Get rid of them. Play out another one. I'm not going to cycle this. I feel like if we draw an island, I'm going to want to cast this. Alright, they Fanatical Offering. Draw 3 cards. Play a land. They have 5 cards in hand. They have a blood token they can sack, makeshift munitions to Gav Blast. They have double Gav Blast. Oh, Mirror Enforcer. They can just like shoot this. Okay, that's what they do. Island, just get in. They have to jump, play the island, and just cast Lorien. Alright, so if we can untap, we can find some stuff, but untapping is going to be tough. They Thoughtcast, Spell Bomb. They can cycle that. That's what they do. So as long as they don't find any creatures, or we can just bounce whatever they play. Alright, they sack a blood token, discard a land. They're digging. They've drawn like 7 cards this turn. Aggro Wellspring. Doesn't look like they found it though, unless they have some free stuff. They have the bird, makeshift. They ping us to kill Wellspring, and they don't find anything. Alright, so against Grixis Affinity, we have 4 nulls. I kind of like Murmuring Mystic. I feel like I always like this card. Sleep of the Dead, we don't really care about. Dispel is interesting. So if we bring in all this, maybe we don't need Dispel. Maybe that's like overboarding. I think Demon Inferior, not the greatest, just because they can recast it. It does tempo them a little bit. But our stuff's just bigger. We'll try that. Alright, we can try this hand. It's not the most amazing, but it's fine. They go Furnace, Spell Bomb. So our graveyard shut off a little bit. Island. Start with a Ponder. I think I want these just because I want Delver. And I want Islands. And we can flip Delver next turn. Or in a couple turns. Go Island, Delver. I mean, they might just kill it. We go land. Another spell bomb. Familiar. Trying to think if we want to discard the tower just because of all the spell bombs. I guess we will. Mirror Enforcer. Really good start for them. They have their spell bombs. They have their aggression. My Brainstorm. Put them back like that. So Thought Scour is on top. Reveal. Flip it. Play land. I guess we'll attack. Not really winning this race, huh? Oh, they just trade. For some reason, I was thinking this was a 3-3, not a 3-2. That's I don't know, just kind of stuck there. Not a good attack, but we'll just pass. Little mistake there. Tap land, Blood Fountain, because they can get this back, kind of annoying. They get him for 4. We'll Thought Scour ourselves, because we know there's a land on top we don't really want. We kind of want to make them pop the spell bombs too. Now I kind of wish I kept the tower. All right, they crack 1. They don't have black up, so they don't get to draw. We can hold up Brainstorm and Counterspell. I'm just going to counter this. They get him for 4. We'll Brainstorm. Delver. So let's put back this and this. So we'll draw Counterspell for turn, and then we can just go Delver, Delver, and then we know we're going to draw Lorien Revealed. So this is how you beat Spellbomb. Of course, they can always get back Familiar, but they get him for 4, down to 8. Definitely losing this race. They go land, reveal, reveal. We have to draw. Let's see if they have the counter. All right, they just cycle Spellbomb. They don't draw with it. Ponder. Not the best cards, but we'll draw Ponder. Get him for 6. Wow, they had the cast down. And for 4. Down to 4. Yeah, we haven't drawn any of our sideboard cards. They've drawn double Spellbomb into cast down. Not the greatest for us. Now they're gonna slack. Now they're gonna sack this. Get back. Make us discard. Another Mirror Enforcer too. Let's ponder. Bottom. Here. How much do these cost? They just cost a little bit too much. Island cycling. Yeah, we're just 1 short. So they're gonna attack with all. We have to chump here, block here. And then we're just dead in the air. They cycle the blood token. Just like 1 step behind every time. Into Toxin Analysis. So we're still dead in the air. Do they have the Galv too? Oh, they had like the little combo. Yeah, okay. They can just sack all these and ping us. Just a little too slow. Didn't draw any nulls, and they had the double Graveyard Hate, so it was a little awkward. Let's go to Deep Analysis too. Bring in like a Dispel and try that on the play. All right, we'll keep this. Hopefully dodge the spell bombs. Island, go. Probably gonna cycle turn 1. Nice, okay. Get an island, another Lorien. So we can hold up Counterspell for a spell bomb, or we can Mental Note and cycle again. Another tap land, really good for us. Mental Note into cycle. I feel like they have something. They're not like F6. Another one. It's cost 3. Ponder. Thought Scour. Just gonna pass. End of turn. Thought Scour ourselves. Just hold up enough mana to cast these spell bomb. They have the Hydra or the Pyro. Damn. Never lucky. Yeah, they crack it immediately. All right, they play a land, pass. We just have to rebuild. Start with the Brainstorm. Don't really want to Thought Scour. I guess we could. We can Thought Scour those end of turn. That's fine. It's just a land Brainstorm. Blood Fountain. Thoughtcast. Another Thoughtcast. Let's Thought Scour. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to counter that. See if we can find some more spells. Mental Note. See if we can mill over some spells. We did. Wow, our hand is gross. Okay. Let's cast all these. So if they don't do anything about our graveyard, we just get to unload next turn. If we draw an island, we can empty our hand. Another Blood Fountain. Cast down. That's fine. Remembering Mystic. A little late. We'll save that though. Just keep flooding the board. See how many removal spells they have. Alright, they stack this with Fanatical Offering. Play a land. We have lethal on board. They play Mirror Enforcer. They map token it. Find another land. Draw Spell Pierce. So we'll just play the other terror and hold that up then. Get in with everything. They block here. Go to 4, play another one. I feel like they just scooped that, right? I'm glad we beat that spell bomb. They play their land. Another Mirror Enforcer. They have a lot of mana, so we're not going to be able to spell pierce anything profitably. Wellspring. They're just going to kind of go through their deck and see if they can find anything. Mercator's Bargaining. All right, we'll spell pierce that. You could wait just because you could just counter whatever they draw next. But we also don't want them drawing all these free spells, so we get there. All right, match 2 on the play. We can keep this hand. 2 lands, some cycle, some dig. Probably get like a turn 2 or turn 3 Serpent. Start with an island. Tree of Tales into Implement of Ferocity. So let's just brainstorm. See if we can set up a turn. These are solid. What do we want to put back? This and this. We want to draw the land and then just mill over, what's it called? Thought Scour. Ponder. Ooh. Do not want 3 lands. Draw a land anyway. So we have 4 spells in the yard. They go Colony Garden. Looking for some permission, to be honest. Another Ferocity. Deem Inferior. Play an island. Play Ponder. Island, that. We'll draw the note. Trying to think if we want to get rid of this plant or not. I'll say no this time. Play Tolarian Tower for 1. They play Darksteel into Troublemaker Oof. They sack that, put a +1 on it, just to draw a card. We draw another island. Not ideal. We'll attack. Because these cost 2 each. This costs 3. So I guess we just kind of spam the board. I'm not sure if they're trying to combo off or if this is just like value. All right, they do sacrifice this, put it on here. Play land. Young Wolf. I feel like that's a combo or something. Another Demon Inferior. Let's get rid of the Young Wolf. They're activating something. Vines. Okay. Still gonna attack with everything. They're just gonna trade like this. Undying. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. Another Troublemaker. Land. Into Hooting Mandrills. All right, well, we're gonna get rid of that. Brainstorm. That makes things a lot more easy. Let's see. Guess we'll put it like this. Now this only costs 1. Let's just attack with both of these. They can't really do anything. They have to chump. All right, we'll just get rid of this now. Actually, I don't know why we didn't just get rid of both of them. Yeah, I don't know why we just didn't bounce them at attack. That was silly. Nest Invader. And they scoop. Yeah, that was just, I don't know what I was thinking. Just playing with my food. All right, I'm still not sure what we're playing against. Oh, I found it. Okay. So they are going to have Relic of Progenitus, which is going to be annoying. It's just like an aggro deck, apparently. So we definitely want this. Sleep of the Dead and Murmuring Mystic. Probably Deep Analysis out. Post board, bringing in the Graveyard Hate. Like a mental note. I'll try that. All right, game 2, and this seems fine. Doesn't really play around turn 1 Relic very well, just like they have. Okay. We have the Delver. I guess that's about the only thing it kind of plays around. So we'll take it. Island, Delver. We can always force them to pop it. We don't have anything in hand that kind of needs anything right now. We can flip this turn 1, that'd be ideal. We do not. We will attack and just pass. I play Implement of Ferocity. Young Wolf. God, how much do I care about that? I'm gonna say I don't care about that. Let's start putting stuff in our graveyard and make them pop it if they need to. Ponder, counterspell in the yard, mental note. By overwhelming the graveyard like this too, it really forces them to probably pop it. Draw another Delver. We do get to flip it. They don't do this, so let's ponder. I feel like they have to. Wow, they don't, okay. Island, this. Man, we're close. Play Delver. We could hold up counterspell. That's like another thing. Maybe we should have done that. Maybe they probably pop this end of turn. Nothing they have has flying though, so this is always nice. They do have ram throughs though, so they can kill these if they want. Get them for 1. They sack this, nice value. Play a land, cast Mental Note. Sleep of the Dead's pretty good. I forgot that we had the tower, but we don't have, oh wow, we have a lot, okay. This costs 6 still. We're just gonna sleep this. Get him for 3, load up Counterspell, they get him for 2. So that's what the plan's for too, in order to cast this. Nest Invader, yeah, that's fine. So they have all these like sack fodder things. An island, damn. Definitely getting a little unlucky with these flips. It's almost tempting to counterspell, so that way we can get things in the yard, get more spells in there. But now this is online. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I probably should have just countered this. They're not using this, so I don't know why. Okay, we will counter this. Play another Colony Garden. Definitely want some mill spells so we can play all these out. Spell Pierce. We'll flip it, but that's not really what we want. These cost 4. Attack like this. We can sleep. Big guy. Oh no, we have to pay 3. Oh man, okay. We have Spell Pierce. They have a crap ton of mana though. Probably gonna use this. We're at 8. If we block here, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking this cost 1 for escape, but it's still 3. They're dead in the air if they don't do anything though. They need a ram through. All right, they sack, draw a card. Do they find it? They find a Brave the Wilds. All right, we're just gonna pierce that. They're gonna pay for it. They have 4 mana anyway. I think they just win with that, right? Becomes a 3/3 with haste. 2, 5. Yeah, it's just Xaxes. Damn, they found it. Yeah, just a little too slow. We weren't able to flip the Delver fast enough. We drew a couple too many islands. All right, I guess we just run it back. All right, on the play. And we'll keep this. Again, thinking back, we probably should have counterspelled that 1 spell. We would have had more spells in the yard, and then they wouldn't have anything to pump. So that's a little on us too. Just play Island, go. We have Spell Pierce for turn 1 Relic. They have Colony Garden. Yeah, because they can go just turn 2, sack this, and go nuts. We want to flip Delver next turn. So let's put back these 2. Island, Delver. We'll hold up Pierce, and then we'll flip Delver, and then just kind of go nuts here. As long as they don't have the sack creature, that'd be pretty annoying. Rancor. I'm just going to pierce this. Put something in the yard. Do they have like the Relic? Oh, another Rancor. Okay. I love the beatdown plan. If we can find, what's it called? We can just bounce this. Reveal. Let's go Ponder first. These are solid, actually. We do want to draw these. I guess what sucks is that we're going to mill these. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, that's actually really good. It does go back to their hand, but we can get all this going. Hopefully they don't draw the relic. They definitely would have cast it if they had it. But we want to get rid of this so that way they can't sack to get the big thing. And then we can just go nuts. Hopefully this is just, okay, Rumble. They find Nest Invader, Tree of Tails into Nest Invader. Oh, another Rumble. They find the Bayou. Do they take it? They have to take it, right? Bayou. They do take the Bayou Graph. Would love to find a counter spell. Island. We're just going to flood the board so that way the Graph just like doesn't matter. Start with this one. Start with the Mental Note. Another Serpent. And then pass. Yeah, our 2-mana Serpents are better than their like 2-mana Graphs. They play Darksteel Citadel. So they have 6 cards in hand. Like they have a lot of gas. They have Nest Invader and they have Graph. There's the Graph. If they play Nest Invader, we're still just going to swing out. Hopefully they don't have a Ram Throw. They do. I feel like I could sense it. We draw an island. Not ideal. We'll trade. Play another one. I'm just going to hold this. There's no reason to play it. We can just kind of, I mean, they're not really going to not play into stuff. They can't afford to do it right now. But it always helps just to keep them on their toes. Nest Invader. And we're also F6, so maybe Rancor. Double Rancor. 6-2. Colony Garden. Nice flood there. Flooding the board. Tolarian Terror. What sucks is that these just go back to the hand. So we are going to, unfortunately, trade. I think this is correct. So we attack, they block here, they get these back, and they can pop another thing and then another thing. I think this is fine. Especially if they do this, then they only have 1 spawn, and then we have 2 creatures. So they get those back. We play another one. So they can pump this one if we attack with both. It's kind of awkward. Would love another bounce spell. Well, they find a Ferocity. They pump this. Now they're going to probably stack Rancors on this. There's one. I'm trying to think if there's a world in which we don't attack. Yeah, okay. They got all this. They're back up again. Brainstorm. There we go. Deem Inferior. That's game. Nice. Match 3 on the play. And we'll keep this hand. Triple Island. Some dig. Lead off on a Ponder. Interesting. Counter. Thought Scour. I don't mind drawing the 1 counter spell and just kind of getting rid of the rest. Into Caretaker. Alright, so this is Walls combo. I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure how this works, but we'll see. Draw the counter spell. We can just pass. I'm pretty sure it's just like Freed from the Real and Reaping the Graves, just some stuff like that. Probably like infinite combo with Caretaker, right? So they're just like ramping. I don't think we do anything about any of that. Let's brainstorm. How many counters do we want? Do we want Deem Inferior? I feel like they're just going to go off at instant speed, so we can't really use this very well. So I'll put that back and a Mental Note. We'll Thought Scour ourselves, find an island. There's Serpent. Does cost 2. We'll just pass, hold up Counterspell and Mental Note. They get him for 2. And they just pass. We'll Mental Note into an island. Another island. Cast a threat. And I guess just pass. They're casting something. I guess we counter this. I don't know what else, like what they're trying to find here. Obviously something special. They have a lot of one-ofs, so I'm not sure. Maybe we just let them find it and just counter the thing they find. Maybe that was a mistake then. But it's also another creature, another chumper. All right, they have all the mana in the world. So Spell Pierce is pretty bad. They just pass. They just pass. We draw a Serpent, attack, play another one. Yeah, I'm not sure what they need. More creatures, isn't it, though, for them? They're casting something, though. Transmute. I guess they're getting either Freed from the Real or Reaping the Graves. I guess they just make, like, infinite mana and then they ping you with, like, Valakut Invoker. That's what it looks like. They reveal Drift. They do it again. Now they reveal Reaping the Graves. Oh, so it does have Storm, so that way Counterspell doesn't really do anything against it, right? That makes sense. So they get back these, back to your hand to transmute. They transmute again for Lead the Stampede. All right, we'll pierce this. I'm glad we held on to that. I don't know what they're doing. I'd love another Counterspell, though. Oh, yeah. Did we know we were drawing that? I don't know. What sucks is that, like, they could chump here. They can chump for days. Down to 2. Like, is that what they're supposed to be doing? They can transmute again. Another Quarian Ranger. They could just do this forever, I guess. If we counter, like, the important spells. Transmute. We're just rolling with it now. Galvanic Alchemist. I think we counter this, and they just pass. They have 1 card in hand. Draw Spell Pierce. Not the greatest. They just have so much on the ground. They can just chump for days. All right, they jump. They make a bunch of mana again. Secret Door. Venture into the dungeon. Now I have to look up dungeons. So this costs 5 mana to activate. They could do it immediately. I'm just going to counter it. Do they have something else now? Tell me they have that 1 wall. Is that just bait? Oh, they do have it. Okay. How much mana can they make, though? 3 mana to any target. Deep Analysis. I'd love to draw a bounce spell. And we did. That's huge, actually. So they can untap a creature at a chump. So let's just attack, see what they do. They just do it like that. And then we'll just bounce this and just pass. Can deep analysis flashback. Generous end. It's actually pretty good. It's a wall and they can gain some life. We should have flashed that back on our turn. Island, flash this back. Play island, play ponder. Looking for another bounce spell. There we go. There. Bounce here. These bounce spells have been insane. Still don't exactly know what they're doing, but we're pulling through here. All right, so against walls combo, do we have anything like Hydroblast is medium, Annul, or like Defender? So their win con is that Invoker. What are they bringing in? Probably Tamio's Safekeeping for Hexproof. They only have one enchantment. I wish we had like burn spells just to kill all their dorks. Yeah, I don't think like any of this does anything. I think we just run it back. Try to dodge Reaping the Graves. All right, this is a one-lander, but we have Lorien Revealed and we have Ponder, so we're going to keep. Spell Pierce isn't doing too much early anyway, because they just play out creatures. Serpent. We'll just go Island Go. Hold up Pierce just in case. Maybe they have a lead the Stampede. Be cool if they kept a one-lander. They bounce the land back for Overgrown Battlement. Nothing we can do about that. Let's just cycle. Get the Guaranteed Island. Draw another one. We'll lead off on a Ponder. So I kind of want the Deep Analysis in the yard. So I'll go Deep Analysis, Spell Pierce, Island. Draw the island, and then we'll just probably Thought Scour everything else away. Yeah, they do only have one land. I wish we could punish this, but we can't. They attack for one. Untap that. So they have 2 more mana. Another one. All right, they're just going nuts here. Let's cast Thought Scour. Definitely want to draw some threats. We draw Delver. This still costs 2. So we can play Cryptic. I think we just do that. Play Cryptic and hold up Spell Pierce. It's going to be hard to Spell Pierce with all this mana, but maybe they tap out. Another Caretaker. Oh yeah, they have 1,000,000 mana. Yeah, they have infinite mana here, so definitely going to need some hard counters. These Spell Pierces aren't cutting it. Probably should have maybe... I mean, I don't even know what to cut for these in the sideboard, to be honest. They're literally soloing us with 1 forest. Cast Mental Notes. Draw another island. Play Delver. Yeah, this just like stonewalls us, huh? We could Demon Fear it eventually, but I'm gonna, I guess, chill for now. Yeah, this matchup seems pretty tough with so many like chump blockers on the ground. I think we were very lucky to win the first game. They play Axebane, Guardian. We also haven't drawn any counters, so like we would have countered the Ent and just slowly chip in. All right, they play Rebel Fort. Now they all have haste. They only have 1 card in hand at least, so they're not like doing anything. They're just kind of spinning their wheels. All right, that getting in, that kind of has to happen, I guess. Now it has Pseudo Vigilance. That's Thought Scour. Draw another island. No more lands, please. Cryptic Serpent does not flip. I'm still going to hold on to this, I think. We should Deep Analysis, actually. Down to 10. Not too much going on, though. They have infinite mana. 18. They have, like, 1,000,000 mana. Lead the Stampede's really good top deck for them. They find a bunch of things. They find Boarding Party. Well, that's unfortunate. That has Cascade. We can't counter that. Let's see what this hits. Caretaker. They have Anointed Altasar. What do they do, like, sideboard into this aggro? Oh, no. They find Invoker. So this is, they're just going to destroy us here because they can make infinite mana. Yeah, we're just dead here. We'll block like this though, just for fun. And they have 18, so 10, 20. They can do 6. We can watch it. So they're going to have 30 mana. This is 9 damage. Yeah. Okay. Man, they beat us with 1 forest. Do we have any way of like dealing with any of that? I still don't think so. Like Mystic could kind of flood the board maybe. Do we want that? Spell Pierce not as good. Let's just go down to 1 Spell Pierce and bring in, probably Hydroblast is better. We'll do that. We'll bring in Hydroblast for the Valakut thing on the play. And we'll try it. Kind of land heavy, but we'll make it work. We have the tower. Trying to get an early tower going. They just go Caretaker. We put 2 Delvers in the yard. Jesus. All right, well, that's super unlucky. Play Ponder. Go 1, 2, 3. I want to draw the Hydroblast. Double Deep Analysis isn't great either. I think these draws have just like not really lined up. Aquarian Ranger. Wall of Roots. Battlement. Yeah, they're doing a lot of good stuff. I want to, yeah, draw that. This still costs how much? 5. I'm just going to cycle this now because we don't want to draw the next spell. And then we'll just have to pass. This costs 3 still. Just going to get soloed by walls. I feel like our deck does absolutely nothing against them. Unless we get a super early whatever. We need counter. We need exactly to happen like last game, but like this, yeah. They're just going to go over the top. They get to cast the Altasar and Winding Way. Yeah, we just have no answer to any of this. Wall of Roots, what they take. They did find the Valakut card, so we can counter that at least, but it's not really going to matter with all this. They get him for 1. And I don't even know, like, is this the nuts for them? I feel like it is. Thought Scour. Lead off on that. Demon Inferior. Play Terror 2? Oh man, we're like bricking here then. Thought it would cost a lot less. I mean, I guess we'll just play out one, and then we'll just hold up Hydroblast for Valakut. Alright, we'll just pass. If we can kind of keep them off their payoffs, I think that's kind of the name of the game here. I'm just going to trade. They have a generous Ent. The creatures are just a little bit bigger than ours. We do get to counter this. See if they have, like they can return that though, somehow. Shield Sentinel. Let's see what they find. They're hasty. Tuk. Draw Lorien Revealed. Guess we'll cycle, make this cost 1. Don't really know how we're getting out of this. Island, play Tolarian. What's this cost? 3. Guess we just bounce this now. Oh, they Mirror Shell Crab me. Oh, we knew they had Mirror Shell Crab. I haven't seen this since like Modern Living End. I totally forgot about that. So they have no cards in hand. They can just attack with this. We have to let that go. Draw another island. We will Deep Analysis. Draw Delver. We will attack. It's going to take forever to get in. Probably just eat the food. Oh, I forgot. They can give this haste. I mean, vigilance. That's my bad. Yeah, I messed that up. They eat the food. They're going to chump this. Yeah, that was an oopsie. They cast Winding Way. Good top deck for them. They find Altasar. Okay, we'll skip to that. They find Altasar, Generous, and all that stuff. Like, we're going to, let's see. I mean, we're going to draw like 2 islands. We would Deep Analysis. No, we can't even Deep Analysis. We draw Brainstorm, Dream Inferior. Yeah, we're just like not getting through this wall. All right, welcome to match 4 on the play. Oh, this is a 1-lander. Really nice payoffs, but we got a mulligan. No way to get a second land. This hand also sucks. Holy crap. We're going to have to keep this hand, though. Put back a Deep Analysis. Go Island, pass. Maybe we should have gone to 5, honestly. Especially against Tron. Find Lorien Revealed. Yeah, I think this was a bad keep. They have Natural Tron, which is unfortunate. Get an Island. Deem Inferior, also not good. They crack map, go get the 3rd Tron piece. Yeah, doing nothing for 3 turns is just a disaster. And we're drawing absolutely terrible. Holy crap. We're just going to Deep Analysis. Assuming that if they have a counter, they're definitely going to use it. Alright, we draw Brainstorm and Delver. Finally, something. They're way, way ahead of us than Rova. Yeah, we're just going to like lose to this. Discard Demon Inferior. Help us out with our... They can just bounce things infinitely though. I'm going to Island Cycle now. See if they have the Ghostly Flicker. Let's get them for 4. Guess Brainstorm. They have 1,000,000 mana and 6 cards, so you know they have like some stuff. Just put it back like this. Flip Delver. Attack. What's this cost? Guess we'll Brainstorm so they make these cost 1. Put it back like that. 1. Let's try to present some threats. We know they have at least 2 Moments Peace in the deck. Wow, they just do nothing. What's in their hand? That's like huge for us. Let's attack. Do they have the Moments Peace? Can't even counter it really because they can just flash it back. They do have it. Alright, let's ponder. Spell Pierce isn't very good here. They just have too much mana. So I'll do this. Mental Note. Draw an island. Play another Cryptic Serpent. So they get to Time Walk us a bunch of times depending on how many Moments Peace they have. Impulse, we can't do anything about that. We have a really good clock. So if for some reason they tap out of double green, we're also going to hold this island so that way if they bounced in Rovo, we can like discard the island because they're probably just going to bounce creatures. So they didn't tap out. How many Moments Peace do they have, I wonder? Let's attack. See if they have it. Looks like they do. Yeah, we were trying to play around if they like had it or not. They had it. All right, play Delver. They get him for 4. They cast Lorien Reveal, draw 3 cards, another Prism. I'd love to draw a counterspell for this. They do get like another turn of reprieve. And it's definitely a tough matchup for us if we don't get like the early counterspells because they just go bigger. Yeah, so they have Flashback up now. Do we flip this? They're just gonna upkeep Moments Peace. That's a pretty good draw. Cast Lorien Revealed. Island. I guess we can't do anything. Let's cast Mental Note. See if we can draw. We've been 2 islands. We draw another island. Okay. They have 7 cards in hand. 1,000,000 mana. They should be able to like seal the deal here. Especially if they go Null Drifter, Flicker, bounce all this. Mnemonic Wall. Get back Lorien Revealed. Oh, Impulse. All right, they're going to be looking for a Moment's Peace. At least they're tapping low, so that way if we do pierce them, I feel like they already have it in hand though. Ponder. Go Island, Ponder. We can draw like a counterspell. Okay. So we'll do Ponder, draw Ponder, Ponder again. This, counter, no. Just attack with everything. Assuming they have the Moment's Peace. They can cast it twice, which is annoying. Wow, it looks like they don't have it. Or they have the Flicker. Oh, they're gonna Ghostly Flicker? Ephemerate? Just gonna counter that. Do they have the Prohibit? They do. That's brutal. And they have 4 mana, so they can pay for Spell Pierce. And yeah, we had to make it so they didn't have like everything. Discard an island. Play back out the Cryptic Serpent. So what sucks is because they have the whatever they can. Yeah, they have Pulse too. Yeah, I mean they've drawn half their deck, so they're definitely gonna have. We're gonna say everything. They have Ephemerate coming off, so they can Ephemerate the wall, get back Pulse, play Null. Yeah, this is just kind of like a lock. They play Pylons. Mystical Teachings. So they're going to Ghostly Flicker these two. Bounce this, get back Ghostly Flicker, do it again, do it again. I'm going to do it one more time. Mental Note, attack. They're going to block like this and then Flicker. Oh, they have the Ephemerate, right? Let's Thought Scour, see if we can draw anything. No. So this gets back one of these. Gets back Prohibit. So we're just going to play both of these out. See if they want to counter this. Do we have Deep Analysis? Alright, they just pulse that back. We do have Deep Analysis. Draw the counter spell. A little late. Flicker the wall. Get back Ephemerate. Yeah, what we really needed was to counter the Ephemerate, and then they can't do as much value, but there's a lot of value here. So they flicker these two. Alright, we'll concede. They're way too much mana, and we just did like absolutely nothing. Alright, so against Tron, definitely want the Dispels. We'll take out Demon Inferior. Nulls, they have a decent amount of artifacts. Take out, we'll try that. Bring in these 8, take out these 8. Alright, on the play. Another like medium hand, Psycholorian revealed, hold up counterspell. It's like hard to throw this back because it's like just fine. It's not like anything too exciting, but obviously we want some like Thought Scours or something to fill the yard. And just go map go. They also had Natty Tron or turn 3 Tron last turn, so that didn't help. I meant to cycle this. They don't have it this turn. That's good. We'll cycle. They impulse. Could dispel that. Maybe we should have. But I kind of want to save it for their actual payoffs. This is just more like card selection. Get an island. Another Lorien revealed. We will just pass. We have Dispel and Counterspell up. They play Pylons. Probably going to Counterspell like anything at this point. They just do nothing. Island cycle again. Probably going to crack map end of turn, I'd imagine. Counterspell. Yeah, not drawing any like dig. It's just like killing us here. Definitely don't want to be playing draw go against Tron. Again, maybe do we dispel this? Should we fight over this? They play an early bog, which they can flicker and ruin us. We just do nothing. There's the Thought Scour. We will cast that. Little late, turn 5. Mill an island and a ponder for another counterspell. Now they crack map. They get a tower. Yeah, Ghostly Flicker on bog is just like massive against us. We can like obviously counter and all that. Another Lorien revealed. The third Lorien revealed. Get an island. Costs 4. Third impulse. Again, we're letting this go. You guys let me know if we should be countering these or not. Like, should we be countering because we have so many and we want to fill the yard? Or should we just wait for the payoffs? Especially if they find the mine. They do find the mine. And we have nothing. Brainstorm. Take that. Too many counterspells, but play a land. I feel like we have to play at least one of these. We can hold up Counterspell and Dispel. Energy Refractor. It's crazy they've done nothing too. They've like sculpted their hand though, so they definitely have way more stuff than we do. Null Drifter, like we have to counter this. And then they have a counter using Energy Refractor. Prohibit. Dispel. Dispel. I was gonna say they need a 1 mana counter. That's huge for us. That was a good win. We draw the other counter spell. So now we can get Terror down, hold up all this. This just costs 1. They still have 6 cards in hand. Wall. Just gonna counter the wall. They're making red mana. Pyroblast. I'll dispel that. They didn't have this before. They do bring in 4 Pyroblast though, so they are well prepared for our deck. I'm also fighting over this because it's a chump blocker and it gets back like an impulse or something. They float the mana. I don't know why. Because they're gonna flicker? Are they gonna Ghostly Flicker? But they're not playing blue, so I don't know. It is the Ghostly Flicker. Okay. Let's just counter it. I don't want them drawing any cards with Energy Refractor. We draw another counterspell, which is huge. Super lucky for us. We've drawn all our counterspells. After last game, I feel like we deserve this. Put them down to 5. This is another Ghostly Flicker. Alright, we'll let that go. They can Surveil and draw a card. Another Prism. I'm not going to counter the redraws. I just play a land and pass. I guess, well, they could have Moment's Peace, I guess, which would suck. Delver. That's what I'm assuming they drew for turn. Damn, yeah. Okay. Play out Delver. So they have 1 turn. Delver flip. So they're going to try to Moment's Peace now. We're just going to counter it and they'll scoop. Nice, dude. All right. So if they don't draw all their Moment's Peace, we draw all our counter spells, all our threats, and we're good. Let's run it back. All right, we'll keep this hand. We have double a null for the turn 2 cantrips. Go island, pass. Definitely want them to cast their, prisms. This keeps them off blue mana and doesn't let them cantrip. We'll cycle. Get an island, deep analysis. We will pass. Definitely looking for counter spells, some hard counters. Keep them off Tron as long as possible. Brainstorm is good. Oh, they prohibit that. I'm gonna say that's fine. Impulse. I'll dispel that just to get it in the yard. Another island. How much does this cost? 3. Guess we'll just play that then. Hold up a null. And then next time I guess we just deep analysis. As long as they don't find Tron. They have Null Drifter here. Mnemonic Wall. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. They're gonna get back Impulse, probably. Okay. Brainstorm. Let's attack. Luckily, they don't have any green mana, so we can keep them off colored, whatever. This is pretty good. Then double Deep Analysis. Thought Scour those into the graveyard for value. Play Terror. Play Delver. We could Deep Analysis now. I'm gonna hold up a Null. Probably not. I don't know. It's close. We could completely tap out, but again, keeping them off green for Moment's Peace is huge. We have a pretty solid board. They cast Impulse. They find the third Tron piece, which is unfortunate. We're assuming that's what they took. So ideally, we want to flip Delver, get in for 13, and they just pass. Do we flip it? We do. We find Lorien Revealed. Let's cast Deep Analysis first. Okay. Attack with everything. They probably chump and Ghostly Flicker. All right, we'll Thought Scour ourselves. Lorien Revealed. Damn. All right, so they get that back, unfortunately. They do take 8. Well, Deep Analysis again. They cycle. Again, I really want to hold up a Null, so I'll just pass. They draw 3. Like, I feel like they have to draw some of their artifacts. They're drawing, like, way more cards than us. They find a colored source now. Damn. Trying to keep them off that. So we'll Thought Scour ourselves. Just looking for a million counterspells. We draw an island. We bin a counterspell, and we draw another island. Cast Lorien Revealed. See if that eats a counter. It's Moment's Peace. Okay. We'll Ponder. We'll take the Dispel, and then we just have to pass. Yeah, we really needed them to not hit anything for green. We kept them off as long as possible. Yeah, another wall. And the fact that we don't have any graveyard hate is just, like, pretty punishing, too. I was thinking about running Spell Bombs, but I don't know. Maybe we should be. There's enough graveyard decks to where, like, maybe we don't need a little bit of all of this. They get back Prohibit. I'm actually surprised they don't get back Moment's Peace unless they have another one in hand. Cast Mental Note. Draw another island. Draw a Null. We're gonna, like, mill out at this point. Cast Lorien Revealed. They'll probably cast that in response. They didn't. Okay. Attack with all. So many Ghostly Flickers and stuff we can beat. Dispel. They're going to prohibit this. So they can prohibit this and tap this for green and cast Moment's Peace. I feel like I want to counter everything, though. Dispel. So these all die. They lose their Ephemerate. Go down to 4. They have 3 cards in hand. We are tapped out. So now they can go to town. They do have the Moment's Peace. Probably going to do that at our upkeep. Well, they don't. Ponder. 1, 2, 3. We still have a counterspell. Don't want any of these. There's the counterspell. Cast Lorien Revealed. I guess we just have to do it now. Now's, if they have another one, then, like, so be it. Mystical Teachings to go get another one, or to go get a counter. They can also flash this back. Yeah, so they're going to get something to counter this, and then next turn just flash this back and get, like, Pulse or something. They find a Dispel. Damn. We have all the nulls in the world. They Lorien Revealed. We'll counter the map. We don't have anything else to counter right now anyway. Energy Refractor. I guess that's something better to counter. They play Pylons. Ghostly Flicker for all the mana. Man, they just concede. Maybe they're, like, low on clock or something. I don't know. All right, welcome to the final match on the play. And we'll keep this hand. Has a lot of payoffs. We're hoping this Brainstorm can find some Thought Scours. That's what it's going to come down to. But we'll Brainstorm another Tron match. Okay. Oh, we did not find what we want. So let's, instead of stop at our upkeep so we can cycle, put back Deep Analysis and Demon Inferior. Definitely don't want to draw any of those. We have all the threats. So again, if we can dodge Moment's Peace. There we go. That's nice. Let's Thought Scour ourselves now. We have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, these are actually going to be really cheap too if we can draw, like, one more thing. They play an island into Energy Refractor. Oh my gosh, this hand. We should have played the other one. That's fine. So this hand is just all gas. Do we want lands or we want ways to put stuff into the graveyard? They play a Prism for another power plant. Lorien Revealed. It's kind of like the same thing. Island cycle. Put a spell in the yard, get an island. Play one of these, play one of these. So they're going to have Tron next turn. They play Prism. I guess they're dead next turn if they don't have Moment's Peace. Weather the Storm, okay. Oh my god, we draw another one? This is insane. They go to 5. We're just going to play all of them. This is like, this is crazy. Oh my god. All right, let's see what they can do. Unfortunately, they can still, like, do stuff. So they can get the Mine, have access to 6 mana. And if they have Moment's Peace, they can kill us for 2 turns. Oh, they have Teachings, okay. Yeah, so they find Moment's Peace. Our plan is ruined. They should do it at upkeep. They do. So they're going to have a couple turns, but they can also flash this back and do it again. That's Deep Analysis. Draw the counter spell. Can't do anything. So we'll see how they want to do this. Hopefully they tap out low enough to where they can't double spell with Teachings and Moment's Peace. 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. The Impulse. They cast the Wall. Oh, that's so annoying. Because the Wall can get back Moment's Peace. Let's see if they go for something different. If we counter the wall, they just flash back Moment's Peace, and then we're still in the same spot. They're still dead on board regardless of this. Okay, they do get the Moment's Peace back. And they can cast it. Oh, they can't. They only have 3 mana, and they only have 1 Prism. That's actually huge. Okay. Yeah, they tapped out. That's game. Nice. All right, so we're going to board the same way we boarded before. Dispels, Annuls, out Spell Pierce, out Demon Furier. Probably a Ponder. And try that. All right, game 2, and I think we can keep this hand. It has a good amount of counters, some dig here, and then we can cast our Serpent. So I'd say this is pretty solid. And we have the Annul for the turn 2 cantrip. We draw an island. So we'll go counter their Refractor, counter their Prism. Again, we're trying to keep them off green, just like last match. Just pass. We can double Mental Note into these terrors. Hopefully they don't have Natty Tron. They do. It's unfortunate. But they do nothing with it because they don't have any colored mana. We mill double Island, double Terror. Not very good hits. Wow. Really, really, really bad hits. Holy moly. We mill double Island, double Terror. We'll just pass. Those are like the worst hits possible. They find the blue source. We'll Brainstorm. See if we want a Lorien Revealed. Put back Lorien Revealed and I guess a Null. And we'll Island Cycle. Get an Island. I love these Dispels in this matchup. These cost 2. So we'll just pass. Hold up double Dispel and Counterspell. I was going to say, they have to do something. They've been doing that. They Mystical Teach. I'll Dispel that. It does have Flashback, obviously, but it costs black mana. Oh, they found the Prism. Now they can flash that back if they want. Maybe we should just let this go. We didn't because they didn't have the Prism, but they found it. Another Lorien Revealed. We'll cycle. Play Island. Now they have their green source. Play Serpent. I'll just pass. We could play out the other Serpent and put them dead on board. Looks like they're going to flashback to, or what is this? Just kill. This is fine. I want to fight over the Moment's Peace, I believe. All right, they do nothing. Draw Ponder. Looks like they don't have it. We Ponder. These are solid. Go Thought Scour, Serpent, Dispel. Play another one. So we have double Dispel now. See if they want to flash this back. I guess we will counter this because they can just get Moment's Peace. This is Prohibit. We'll just counter all the things. Just make it so they have like 1 turn to draw it. All right. Do they have it? No. Don't have it. Damn, they have it. Okay. Play out another Serpent. There's no deep analysis in here, right? No. They have 1 more turn. All right, they just pass. They have 3 cards in hand. See if they upkeep this. We're going to counter it. All right, we'll attack. All right, they flash that back. We'll Thought Scour ourselves. See if we can find another counter. A Null. It also makes it look like we found the counterspell from doing that. Did we get there? No, they're tapping mana. Ghostly Flicker to try to draw a card. Try to find an answer? Come on. No. Did they really draw another one? Oh, that's brutal. All right. Into Teachings? Oh, man. No, it's slowly slipping away. So they can get another Moment's Peace if they want, but they're probably just going to get... Damn, that sucks. So close. They find Impulse. Oh, shit. Oh, man. I just clicked through that. We have the Annul, too, and I just accidentally clicked through that. That's annoying. We definitely want to counter these because that just gives them the green if they tap out of stuff. Another Impulse. They have so many turns. They can Moment's Peace next turn. They can flash this back next turn. There's definitely going to be another artifact we can counter, right? Ah, Stonehorn Dignitary. Yeah, now we're just locked out. No, there was the counterspell. So they can flicker this like indefinitely. Counterspell's a little late. There's a green source. They only have 1 card in hand though, but they have Moment's Peace and Teachings in the yard. So they can flashback Teaching, or let's see. Let's see how they do this. So if they flash this back, I think that's bad for us. So let's just counter it. Because they're going to get like flicker and flicker this and then do like some more shenanigans. I think their last card, oh no, they're going to just Moment's Peace here. It's like we're going to counter one of these. And I think it's better to counter the Teachings. Oh, they're doing something. What else do they have in their hand? Oh, they have a counterspell too? They have the Pyroblast? Damn, dude. Yeah, their last cards have just been like the nuts. So now they get the Teachings. Now they get Ghostly Flicker. Deep Analysis. We can't cast that. So we're just going to pass. So they can flicker here and here. That's what they do. So they get to draw a card. They have another turn of reprieve. If they just like brick though, we can still win. Thought Scour. That's Deep Analysis. We'll draw like land counterspell or something. Oh my god. That's awesome. All right, let's pass and then just win the game. And we get there with those called shots. All right, so that was Mono Blue Terror and Pauper. We almost got the 5-0. We lost to Defender combo, which that matchup seems pretty terrible if I'm being honest. I'm not sure how correctly we played it, but we managed to steal game 1, and then the other games we just did absolutely nothing. It did feel really good to outgrind Tron, and that last match was just awesome. Getting so many towers out so quickly, and that last called shot with Counterspell Island. So I like what this deck's trying to do. It is innately a tempo deck, and I think it does that pretty well. Obviously, if we can spend the early turns setting up, countering anything we need to, and then just playing our haymakers very cheaply, holding up counter spells, we're going to win those games. As for the sideboard, I thought it was okay. I did miss some type of graveyard hate, so I'm not exactly sure what we'd put in. We don't want Relic of Progenitus. Spellbomb, we can't really cycle it because we don't have black. Maybe we can add something there, but I'm not sure. But that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more Pauper content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Peace.